Ghost of the Void. The outer rim of the Karuzin Coalition, Sector Varnak 13. Recon Vessel Tezakrail. Commander Thale Kayar watched the holographic display flicker as the unidentified ship drifted into long-range sensors. It moved slowly, like it had all the time in the galaxy. Its hull reflected no light, emitted no energy signals, and answered no hails. "It's just sitting there," whispered Nav Officer Rikel. "Dead." Thale Kayar narrowed his compound eyes. Too intact to be wreckage. Too deliberate to be debris. The ship was massive, at least 4 times the size of the Tezakrail. Its outline was predatory, a dagger in the void, with a black hole that bent radar around it like it swallowed stars. And yet, no weapons powered up. No defensive grid. It just floated. "Species ID?" the commander asked. "None," replied the AI assistant. "Matching hull profile weight." A pause. Then, in a low, artificial voice. "Warning, possible match, human battleship class. Vindicator, status, destroyed 63 standard cycles ago." Thale Kayar froze. "That's impossible. Humanity left the galactic sector decades ago. That ship was lost during the siege of Varkesh." Rikel looked nervous. "Sir, permission to scan it?" Thale Kayar hesitated. "Protocol dictated scans on any unknown vessel. But something about this one." He forced the doubt away. "Proceed." Long-range passive, followed by active pulse. Beginning scan. The moment the scan beam locked on, the lights in the control room flickered. A high-pitched whine echoed through the ship, rising in volume. "Interference?" Thale Kayar barked. Rikel clutched his head. "Something's wrong with the systems. AI is fragmenting." The ship's AI stuttered mid-sentence. Echo, reflection, recursive recursion. Error. And then it screamed. The Tezakrail's lights surged and went dark. Screen shattered. A blast of static and incomprehensible audio. Alien tongues, Earth languages, human screams, blasted across every speaker. A junior officer began clawing at his own face, shrieking. Another collapsed, twitching. Thale Kayar's vision blurred as symbols flashed in his mind. Human military commands, war logs, images of Earth on fire, children running from bomb blasts. And above all, a voice, not real but deep in his brain. "You looked into the abyss." It looked back. "You are not ready." 30 seconds passed. The lights returned to normal. Systems rebooted. Silence returned. The Tezakrail floated in space. Drifting. Half the crew were unconscious. 3 were dead, brains hemorrhaged from neural overload. Rikel had stopped screaming, his eyes blank, whispering they're still watching on repeat. The human ship? Gone. No FTL flash, no trail. Just vanished. Thale Kayar stumbled to the comm station. His hand trembled as he opened a secure channel to Coalition Command. "This is Commander Thale Kayar. We engaged an unknown vessel near Varnak 13. Presumed human battleship Vindicator. Attempted standard scan. Immediate system collapse. Crew casualties 30%. Mental trauma extensive. Ship integrity intact. Enemy action unknown. Conclusion: we were warned." He paused, breathing heavily. "We encountered it, the human ghost ship. We tried to scan it. Gods help us." Far across the stars, aboard the Vindicator, Commander Elena Rourke sat in her darkened command deck, watching a pulsing icon fade from the screen. Another scan attempt. Another warning delivered. She leaned back, voice calm, measured. "Let them remember what happens when they poke the sleeping bear." The black silence. Central Assembly of the Galactic Council, Virex Prime. Emergency Session, High Threat Protocol Gamma 7. The council chambers were larger than any planet-bound species could comprehend, designed to accommodate entities of light, gas, silicon, flesh, and machine alike. Seated in a high circle were over 40 species, each leader draped in regalia of their kind, all watching the central hologram play the Tezakrail incident in chilling silence. The image flickered, static, screams, fragmented audio. Then the black silhouette of the human ship. The moment the scan hit, the room was bathed in flashes of corrupted data, warning symbols, and the terrified screams of Commander Thalkayar. When the feed ended, no one spoke for several seconds. High Minister Jaluan of the Karuzin coalition broke the silence. "We are facing something ancient, something forbidden." From across the hall, the insectoid ambassador of the Vec hive clicked. It was destroyed. The Vindicator was confirmed eliminated at Varkesh. The humans abandoned this quadrant and sealed their portals. "How is it back? Was it ever gone?" hissed the Drask warlord, whose species still bore the scars of the human war. "You think they retreated?" "No, they left that thing behind. To haunt us." A shimmering cloud of nanites shaped into a form. A representative of the AI collective spoke with 1,000 voices, attempting to scan that ship-caused recursive feedback. "Our analysis indicates a quantum neuroecho field was activated." Gasps rippled through the chamber. That tech was banned by every sentient civilization, the Talari Mindweaver said coldly. "It reflects scanning energy back at the source, not as data, but as weaponized conscious thought." The scan turned the Tezakrail's own systems into weapons against itself. Another voice chimed in, Ambassador Trill of the Deari. She spoke slowly, fearfully. "The field doesn't just destroy electronics. It hacks into minds, uses the neural signatures of the scanners themselves. It knows your fears, your weaknesses. It plays them back, amplifies them." The chamber grew colder. "Humans," she whispered, "created a ship that punishes you for simply looking at it." In the observation wing above, Junior Council Analyst Kel Sherry listened in horror. He was young for his kind, barely 2 solar cycles in service. But he'd studied history, and humanity was always the turning point in every war record. Humans had arrived late to galactic civilization. Curious, reckless, emotional, and brilliant. For centuries, they'd been underestimated. Until the Drask attacked Earth. Until the siege of Varkesh. Until they unveiled the Vindicator. That ship had ended the war not by destroying planets, but by being seen. Kel remembered the old whispers. Crews who stared into its scans lost their minds. Ships that fired at it self-destructed. The legend grew until even the word Vindicator was used as a deterrent. And then silence. The humans left. Now, the silence was broken. Back in the chamber, debate raged. "We must destroy it." "How?" "No weapon systems work in its radius." "Can we at least track it?" "No. It doesn't leave trails. It appears and disappears like a ghost." A solitary voice finally rose above the panic. It came from the back, where a dark-robed figure sat. One of the few remaining emissaries from the extinct Etherian species. He spoke with slow gravity. "It's not a ship." Confusion murmured through the room. He continued, "It's a warning." They stared. When humans fled this galaxy, they did not leave a relic behind. They left a message, encoded in hull, in signal, in terror itself. "Look upon us and tremble." That's what the Vindicator is. It's not here to fight. It's here to remind. "Remind us of what?" the Karuzin asked. The Etherian leaned forward. "That we are only safe so long as they are sleeping." Light years away, aboard the Vindicator, Commander Elena Rourke sat alone in the bridge's observation dome. Stars drifted past, silent, indifferent. The ship's AI flickered to life. Another council session just ended. 3 more species have restricted scanning on all human flag vessels. The deterrent is effective. Elena nodded slowly. "Good." Her eyes drifted to the old photo taped beside her console. Crew members long gone. Sacrificed in the war. She touched it gently. "We built this ship to protect Earth. Not by fighting wars, but by ending them before they start." The AI asked quietly, "How long will we keep doing this?" "As long as they keep forgetting. What remains of us?" Battleship HSS Vindicator. Current status. Deep drift, cloak mode, active crew. 5 of original 3,000. Commander Elena Rourke stood on the central platform of the Vindicator's bridge, surrounded by ghostly systems humming at near-zero energy draw. The ship, like her crew, was in stasis between moves, alive but dreaming. Watching, waiting. She reached toward a cracked data slab. An antique human tablet, containing the names of every soul lost of Varkesh. 3,000 crew on the Vindicator alone. Her fingers paused over the name Lieutenant Reese Nolan, her second-in-command. Her brother. "We're all ghosts now, Reese," she whispered. 30 years ago. Human Drask War, final year. Battle of Varkesh system. The stars were on fire. Elena's memories returned, unbidden, to that day. Earth was reeling. Mars was gone. The orbital cities over Saturn had been reduced to frozen rings. The Drask didn't just want to win, they wanted humans erased. In desperation, Earth Command activated Project Iron Veil, a last-ditch initiative using forbidden tech reverse-engineered from dark matter singularities. The result: the Vindicator, humanity's final warship. But not just a warship, a psychological weapon. Fear is universal, the project director had said. We don't need to kill them. We need to make them fear so much they'll never dare come back. The Vindicator launched with only a partial crew. Most systems were AI-assisted. The ship was coated in radar-reflective carbon black alloys. It had no external lights, no identification tags. It was death incarnate. The first Drask fleet to scan it went mad. Their computers screamed. Their AIs self-purged. Pilots wept blood, seeing visions of Earth's burning cities, dead children, and ancient human wars. All fed into them through their own scan pulses, bounced back 1,000-fold via the neuroecho field. The humans never fired a shot. Within weeks, the Drask sued for peace. Within months, they fled the sector entirely. And humanity, scarred, grieving, and victorious, retreated behind their own veil. They deactivated their interstellar gates. They sealed Earth off from stars. The Vindicator, however, remained. Present. Elena exited the memory with a sigh and tapped the console. The ship pulsed awake beneath her. Status report, she ordered. The AI responded, voice calm and neutral. Hull integrity 98.4%. Neuroecho field fully functional. External scans detected at low frequency. Origin, Karuzin Patrol. Attempted lock was unsuccessful. Defensive protocol activated. Casualties: 1 confirmed death aboard the alien vessel. Neural hemorrhage. 2 others rendered non-functional. Survivors disengaged and retreated. She closed her eyes. Not with joy, not with remorse, just acceptance. The price of peace was fear. "How many years since we saw Earth?" she asked quietly. 31 standard years, 7 months, the AI replied. Earth remains under silent protection. No alien incursions reported within human space since the treaty. And yet they still try, Elena murmured. Still curious, still arrogant. She looked out the viewing pane at the endless void. They think the Vindicator is some ghost ship, a myth, a malfunctioning relic. They're incorrect, the AI said. She smiled faintly. Yes, but we let them believe it. The fear works better when they don't understand. In the lower decks, Engineer Tilda Voss moved among humming servers and flickering neurorelay cores. She'd been 19 when she boarded the Vindicator. Now she was nearly 50, her body aged by radiation and prolonged low stasis, her mind scarred by memory loops and loss. She whispered to herself constantly, not out of madness, but to keep sane. They forget us, but we remember. We remember. At her station, she monitored the neuroecho engine, an impossible construct powered by unstable energy, illegal in every civilized corner of the galaxy. It didn't just reflect scans. It turned them into mirrors, showing those who dare to observe the Vindicator the worst parts of themselves. Their guilt, their war crimes, their suppressed nightmares. The engine didn't kill. The enemy did that to themselves. Later, the crew of 5 gathered in the bridge. Rourke, Voss, Communications Officer Lynn, Weapons Technician Merrick, and the AI unit known simply as Echo, now given partial sentience. They sat in silence as a new ping came through. Another scan attempt, this time from a VEC observation drone. Do we respond? Lynn asked. Rourke shook her head. No, let the field answer. The silence is our message. Same as always? Merrick said. Elena nodded. Fear is the price of forgetting. They stood in silent agreement as the Vindicator prepared for another drift jump. No destination, no orders, only a mission carved into every bulkhead of the ship. We are the last shadow of Earth. If you see us, you've gone too far. And so the ghost ship turned toward the stars, leaving behind whispers and madness in its wake. The message you never hear. Outer Vec Periphery, Deep Space Observatory T9VX. Dr. Riton of the Vec Hive had studied 1,000 anomalies in his lifetime, but none like this. The ghost signature was back, massive, cold, silent, and unmistakably human. It was the same reading that haunted their archives under the codename Black Echo. He stood over the data console, his chin in his fingers trembling as he viewed the passive scan logs. There it was, Vindicator, a ship that shouldn't exist, matching hull patterns erased from every known registry. Only legends remained, and yet it was here. No active scans had been performed. The entire station operated under the highest caution. Still, the moment the anomaly passed within sensor range, things began to break. Clocks desynced. AI cores rebooted without cause. One crew member began humming an Earth lullaby no Vec had ever documented. Another started drawing the Earth-Moon system in his sleep. The Vindicator had never fired, never spoken, never attacked, but it was listening. Aboard the Vindicator, Neuroecho Core Chamber, Commander Elena Rourke stood in the dark chamber alone. This was the heart of the ship, a sphere of black reflective plating, humming with data that no human could fully understand anymore. The Neuroecho Core wasn't just code. It was alive in its own way, a vast repository of human fear, memory, rage, and resilience. When someone scanned the ship, the core activated. Not with brute force, but with remembrance. It searched the scanner's mind, found the most resonant fear, and reflected it back, amplified through the lens of humanity's worst moments. The message wasn't spoken, but it was felt viscerally. We remember what you did. Do you? Rourke reached toward the core's interface. She never touched it directly. The last time someone had tried, their brain had melted from recursive memory feedback. Instead, she whispered, "You ready for another jump, old friend?" The core pulsed as if in answer. One beat, then two. Echo's voice crackled through the comms. Next drift jump, coordinates locked. A Talari survey vessel is nearing old Mars orbit. They'll be curious. Let them be, she said. Let them try. Galactic Council, War Archive Level Zeta. Analyst Kel Sherry walked the forbidden halls. Here, deep beneath the Council's radiant chambers, were the records too dangerous to show the public. Events so destabilizing, they remained classified for centuries. He found what he was looking for. Operation, Waking Death, Human Designation, HSS Vindicator. The report was barely intact. Most of it was redacted or fragmented. But one line burned itself into his mind. Do not scan the human vessel. Do not hail. Do not pursue. If you see it, turn around. If it sees you, pray. Aboard the Talari survey vessel Lumia 9, they spotted the anomaly near Mars ruins. A dark shape, floating, silent. The captain, a young explorer named Vena, had heard rumors of Earth's ghost ships, but dismissed them. Stories to scare diplomats. She was here to make history. Initiate soft scan. Low bandwidth, non-invasive, she said. Her science officer hesitated. Captain, this ship matches no known database, but it's human. Should we really? Scan it, she ordered. The pulse fired. At first, nothing. Then the ship's lights flickered. The deck groaned. Every screen went black, and one by one began displaying Earth's wars, its dying cities, its children beneath burning skies. Vena fell to her knees, sobbing. From the speakers, a voice emerged, not from the ship, but from her own memories. A voice she never heard before, but somehow knew. You came to look. You came to measure. But you don't understand what we paid to become this. We didn't build a ship. We built a memory that fights back. And then the silence returned. The Vindicator vanished. Back on Earth, hidden facility, former NORAD complex. A single screen blinked green in a dark bunker that hadn't seen sunlight in decades. Integrity check, Vindicator, status, operational. A voice broke the silence. Old, male, ragged with age. They still don't get it. They think we're ghosts. Or monsters. He took a slow sip of water, eyes watching the stars on the dusty ceiling. But we were never trying to scare them. We just wanted to be left alone. Aboard the Vindicator. Bridge. Elena Rourke sat alone again. The others were in stasis. No reason for more crew on this shift. One human was enough to steer fear. She looked into the void and whispered words that only she and the ship would ever understand. We are not here to fight you. We are here to remind you that when humanity is forgotten, the silence becomes our scream. The Vindicator turned quietly, drifting between stars, a relic of war, a specter of memory. And far across the galaxy, wherever it went, one rule remained true. No one dares scan a human battleship.